After previously, this old woman ate the devil fruit. The next day, she escaped from the nursing home and turned into a beautiful young girl. Gwen ran freely towards the house with a happy feeling and did not believe this miracle. At the same time in prison, Sam turned back into an old man, and his real name was Tommy, who turned out to be a devil fruit eater. Here it proves that the effects of this devil fruit are only temporary. Gwen arrived home in a quiet and locked state, because Ray was looking for her on the streets after getting news that his wife had disappeared from the nursing home. Gwen remembered, the key is usually hidden under a rock, and she immediately opened the door where Honey was waiting for her. Not long after Ray returned home and was surprised to see his wife had changed back to being young. Actually, Ray was not too surprised because previously Honey had also eaten the devil fruit and already knew the effects. Elsewhere, Max did not commit suicide after seeing the young Gwen. He was so confused about what really happened. At the police station, the patrol officer told Dave that the young man who was arrested yesterday was a 27-year-old man. They were confused because Sam had disappeared, and now there was an old man in prison. Then the patrol gave him clothes, and Dave was curious to ask why he was in prison. This old man claimed his name was Tommy, and the night before, he was drunk in the park around here. Then, when he woke up, he was already in prison. He felt that night someone robbed him while he was drunk, because his wallet and clothes were missing. However, Dave still believed that he had caught a young man because he had taken his photo and fingerprints. So the patrol scolded him for the mistaken arrest incident and teased him because of the effects of marijuana that Dave had used before. The patrol apologized and told Officer Dave to immediately release this old man. After wearing clothes, Tommy arrogantly walked freely out of prison while laughing madly. Elsewhere, Ray explained that all these miracles came from the fruit plants that grew under the tree where Alfie died. Gwen was shocked because she couldn't remember anything if a child died near her house. At the same time, Max came with curiosity. Max's arrival was to look for Gwen because he had just seen her who had returned to her youth. Ray replied, "Did you forget that Gwen is currently being treated in a nursing home after the disaster?" Max became more confused and left Ray's house for the nursing home to find out what really happened. But when he was about to enter his room, Max was stopped because he had to ask for a letter of consent from the patient's family. So Max left without getting any answer. Back to Tommy, who had been released from prison, he returned to the riverbank. After walking quite far along the riverbank, it turned out that Tommy was looking for a devil fruit and was surprised because there was a rabbit eating the leaves. Tommy immediately drove him away, then took 2 fruits, thinking the effect of this devil fruit would last longer. He was curious about this plant, then tried to dig the ground. After a while of digging, it turned out that this plant grew on a red Holden car, and there was a corpse that had become a bone. Tommy was very surprised after seeing this. At the same time, he was in pain because the effect of the devil fruit had worked to start the regeneration effect in his body, making old Tommy back into a handsome young man named Sam. Back to Officer Dave, who was cleaning the detention room, he found clothes that had been hidden. At home, Gwen looked at her sexy body again. Her very high lust continued to tempt Ray to exercise, but it had to stop because Margot called and asked about his wife. Gwen continued to tease, making Ray have to hang up the phone. And, "Hey, doggy, you have to get out of the arena." Back at the police station, Dave and Rhonda realized that Mick was a fugitive because of the murder case of a gangster boss whose body was found in the trash with 7 fingers missing. It is clear that Tommy is a sadist, making them regret letting him go. Then, the patrol gave an arrest order for Sam and Tommy. But Dave believed that Sam and Tommy were the same person, but who knows what trick they used. At the same time, Sam returned to the place where he was arrested to look for his wallet containing his identity card and a dried fly carcass. So he went to one of the residents' houses to steal clothes and also met Tina to steal her money. After exercising, an old woman named Loris came to ask for news because Loris often visited to accompany Gwen. But Ray argued that Gwen was resting, unexpectedly young. Gwen passed in front of him, making Loris so surprised. Ray again argued that it was his niece named Natalie who was visiting. Loris was so shocked not to believe what he had just seen. This condition confused them both because it was impossible to keep this secret. They planned to go far away, but before that, Ray had to eat the devil fruit, hoping that this old man would become young again. Unfortunately, when waiting until night, Ray did not get any effect from the devil fruit, making Gwen confused because she shouldn't have to wait a long time. Then Gwen expressed that she wanted to have a baby, but Ray was pessimistic about the current situation by rejecting her. Gwen became angry because during her marriage with Ray, they did not have children. After that, Gwen teased Ray again, but Ray was really tired, so Gwen was really angry.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
On the riverbank, Sam visits Isaac at the base camp, who has not yet returned because he is still mapping the area that has not been searched for his mother. Isaac marks all the areas where flood victims were found or areas that have not been explored. Isaac explains that his mother is missing along with her car. So Sam is willing to help find his mother, but Isaac has to go home because it is already night. The next morning, Ray wakes up from his sleep realizing that Gwen is gone, because Gwen has gone wandering around and shopping for clothes in the city. Accidentally, Gwen and old man Max meet. Max is so fascinated because his ex-girlfriend can be young and beautiful again, making him nostalgic for a moment. Ray, who has just arrived, breaks up this small reunion and forces him to go home immediately. But Gwen refuses by running away. Ray is confused and sad. Unexpectedly, Honey is dying again, and Ray realizes that the effects of this devil fruit are not permanent, so that when the effects wear off, the user returns to their previous condition. At the police station, Uncle Charlie is asked for information regarding the robbery and abuse that befell him.
I'm very sorry, sir.
Then Isaac comes to ask for medicine from the patrol officer. That opportunity was used by Isaac to take the car keys to hand over to Sam. And they again stole Uncle Charlie's car, which was stored behind the police station, surprising those inside. On the way, Sam taught Isaac how to drive a car at high speed. Both of them went crazy on the dusty roads, screaming like cowboys at a rodeo riding a giraffe. Woohoo! After finishing, Sam returned to the base camp alone. Sam accidentally saw posters of flood victims and saw a photo of Isaac with his mother, who had not been found. Sam was shocked when he saw the red car, because the devil fruit that was eaten grew from the corpse of Isaac's mother. Then he saw someone on the riverbank, namely Gwen. Sam then approached and realized something, that Gwen was an artist who should have been old, and teased her acting.
I would follow you.
Sam said, "You must be very passionate," and whispered, "I know your secret, old woman, because I also have the same fruit as yours." Realizing this, Gwen immediately left him. Gwen returned home and found Ray carrying Honey. She said that the effects of the devil fruit were only temporary, with evidence that Honey was paralyzed again. At the same time, Sam came with looking for the devil plant and pulled it out, making the plant immediately wither and die. Sam immediately ran away while Gwen held the dead plant with a broken feeling.